Hi guys, it's morning and I always think of things, lay in bed and think about things that happened in my life. I was thinking of some stories. It's a crazy pillow. I like it though. I was thinking about one of them when I hadn't been divorced very long, and it was in Cincinnati, and my husband had moved out. We were getting our divorce. There, that's better. And I lived in a townhome with my kids, and it was a nice townhome. And we had 3 bedrooms up, and a bathroom, 2 bathrooms, and then a powder room downstairs, and a living room and a kitchen. It was nice. He made sure that the kids were taken care of. So anyway, I started dating, and somehow I used to go to bars. I never did drink, but I went to bars because it was fun, and we'd dance, and I'd get a drink, a Coke or something. I didn't drink, and I didn't pick men up. It just was the place to go this is back in 1975, and good music, and I had been married for 10 years, so this was all different. I was going back to work, and I had my kids, and I guess this is close enough. So I was dating this guy, and he worked for the fire department, and everybody called him Fire Trucker, and he really was good looking. I wasn't used to dating somebody that was good looking. This was like one of the very first people that I dated after I'd been divorced. But I did go out with him just because he was cute, but he wasn't nice. He really was full of himself. And in fact, he came over one evening, and I was busy making dinner for the kids, and I invited him to eat. But he said, well, he wanted to swim, so he took my kids to the pool that belonged to the apartments. And my daughter, she was 5. My kids were 3, 5, and 7. She came and complained to me about him having a revealing bathing suit, only in 5-year-old's words. But anyway, that night he told me that he wasn't going to be able to see me the next night, that before he met me, he had planned to have a party at his house, and he had a date, and he said, I can't just break the date because I just met you. He said, I like you better, and I won't date her anymore, but I just want to have my party. So I said, okay. Well, he went to the bathroom or something, and one of the other guys, who was actually his boss, and it's funny, his name was Johnny Carson, but he was a really nice guy, and he was also divorced. And he said, I'm going to his party tomorrow. He said, how would you like to go to his party? And we won't tell him, we just surprise him, and I'll take you to the party. And I kind of thought that was kind of strange, but I didn't know this guy anyway. I didn't know either one of them. So I said, well, it's something to do. So I said, okay. So I told him where I lived, and didn't say anything to this other person. I can't even remember what his name was. I just remember his Fire Trucker. So anyway, the next evening he picked me up. I think it was a Friday night. I had a babysitter. Probably my ex-husband babysat, I don't know, but we drove to Fire Trucker's house, he parked the car, and I remember it was a bi-level. You walked up to the door, and then you had to go upstairs or downstairs, and from the foyer. And I was sort of behind Johnny. Johnny was a big guy, and so a fire trucker came down the stairs and let us in. He said, "Hey, Johnny," and he shook his hand and everything. He says, "Come on up." And when Johnny moved, there I was, and he looked at me, and he gave me the strangest look. And I handed him my coat, and he picked up my coat, and he went and dropped it on the floor. And I could tell then that he wasn't happy I was there. But anyway, so I don't know much about the party. We went ahead and had the party. But sometime during the evening, I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. So I went down this hall that everybody went down, and went to the bathroom, did my thing. And when I came out, I came back, started to come back up to the hall, but this girl was going the other way, and she said, "The fun is down here, come on down here." And I thought, fun? I thought the family room was over here. But I thought, well, maybe he's got a den or something. So I turned around and I went, followed her. She went in this room, and it was really dark. And there were a lot of men and women in there. And I'm very conservative. I mean, I never even really dated anybody before I married my first husband. So I opened up the door. Well, the door was open, I guess. And I walked in, and I could tell that there were like 4 or 5 people under the covers. And then there were people around the bed. And I went, "Okay, I'm leaving." And I turned around and I walked out real fast. And when I was going down the hall, Johnny Carson saw me, and he said, "I'll take you home right now." So that was the first wild thing I had ever seen. I didn't really see anything, but I got the heck out of there. But this is kind of maybe a little long story, but what I was getting to is Johnny said, "Well, I'll make it up to you." He said, "Tomorrow I'll take you and your kids to Starlight Pool." It was called by Coney Island. It was in Cincinnati. And it's like the biggest pool in the world. So I thought, well, that sounded nice. And I didn't think I was ever going to see this fire trucker anymore, which I didn't. But so he picked me up in the morning and picked my kids up, and we all had our bathing suits. And we went to this Starlight Pool. It was the nicest pool. Anybody that's around Cincinnati knows it's considered the largest pool in the whole world. I think it still is. And because all you've got in Cincinnati is the Ohio River, and only dead people swim in the Ohio River. But it's good for fishing and boating, I guess. But so we swam at the pool, and they had like slides and everything. The kids had a good time. But when we were getting into the car to go home, an announcement came over the loudspeaker, the radio. Oh, it's Sunday morning, and it's 8:18, so I'm not really with it. Anyway, when it came over the radio, they announced that Elvis Presley had died. So that was 1977. That was, I guess I'd been divorced a little bit. I got divorced. Well, actually, around Christmas of 77. And this would have been probably, I got divorced in 75. So this was 77, so I guess I had dated a little bit. But Anyway, I don't think I ever saw Johnny Carson anymore, and I never saw a fire trucker. What I did was I bought a house in Reading, Ohio, and moved out of the townhouses. But I just had crazy things happen in my life, and sometimes I think about them and I think they'd be kind of funny to tell people. But I think I was telling my daughter Jennifer last night. She was coming home, and I remembered that party. No, not the party. I remembered the party. I didn't talk to her about the party, but I remembered the picnic and the pool. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day today. It's my last Sunday before my cruise. I thought I'd sleep in, but my kitty cats were meowing at the door. I don't know where they are now. Maybe my husband's up and he might be feeding them. I guess I'll get up. I just enjoy doing these things and talking to y'all. Come here, kitty. Come on. Come on. Come here, baby. Come on. Come here. Come here. Here's my little Pinky. Here's my little Pinky girl. Say hi, everybody. Say, I'm a sweet girl, but I just want you to come and give me some breakfast, Mama. Mama, I want my breakfast. She is the cutest little cat. She's hungry. Look, there's my little baby girl. Say, Mama, I just want my breakfast. I just want my breakfast. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to eat, Mama. I'm hungry. She's a good girl. I was outside last year painting some little steps, and she kept coming up to me and meowing, and she just looked like she was saying, will you be my mommy? So I became her mommy. I just love her. Well, you guys have a really good day. It's Sunday. I think I might have to mow the lawn. Bye-bye, guys. And sorry how I look, but I'm in bed. Bye-bye.